Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens. I'm Ronnie and that's Ben over there. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Good. What's going on with you?
Good. Not much. Just we're here in the middle of the week. BravoCon is upon us. We're headed off to BravoCon. Can't wait.
Yes, right now, actually. We are there right now as this airs, as this recap airs. We are at BravoCon, and it's going to be super fun this weekend, Saturday night in Las Vegas at a place called Beer Park. Beer Park. That is where we are going to be having our get together for Watch What Crappens listeners. It's free, so just come. We have drinks. It's not free, it's a cash bar, but there's cocktail, themed cocktails and stuff like that. It's going to be super fun. Bring your friends. It's going to be a big party over there. So you guys can make it.
Right by everything that's happening. It's in Paris, Las Vegas. It's got a view of the fountains down below. So if you're visiting Vanderpump à Paris, then just head on upstairs and join us for Crappens à Beer Park. Beer Park.
It's going
to be great.
Yeah, Beer Park. So thanks, Beer Park, for having us. We're super excited to have this party, and we will see you guys over there. Also, when we come back, Monday will be Crappy Hour. I'm sure we'll be talking about some BravoCon stuff, what we did. This week's bonus is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills trailer. You find that over on Patreon. That's also where you find our videos on Crappens On Demand. So thanks for being here, everybody. Today, we are doing the season finale of Wife Swappa with Wendy. This is Wendy's big wife swap episode that they were going to air first, and then they put off until the very end because of her arrest. Now, this episode was pretty good, but Bravo really does a number on their programming sometimes. They decided to put this with Real Housewives of Potomac so that everybody would have to watch it. But then it didn't record with Real Housewives of Potomac. So if you recorded this, then it did not record Wife Swap. It only got the first hour, which was Potomac, which meant that you had to get this at 1:30 in the morning when they re-aired the Wives. Bravo, stop. Just stop it. And then they also packaged Watch What Happens Live into this 2.5 hour block to try and get the ratings for everything off of Potomac. Guys, we'll watch your shows, but stop trying to trick us, you bastard.
I know. Well, it's interesting. This was supposed to be the season premiere of Wife Swap, and it wound up being the season finale. I actually think it worked out for the best because I think the Angie K episode was the best of the season. I think that was their strongest episode, and that was the best one to lead off the entire franchise. So I think it actually was really good that Angie started the show. And this episode was... it was a weird one, I thought, because I think we all expected Wendy to just lay into this lady on the show. And she didn't. She sort of politely did, but she didn't. It was a very nice Wendy.
I was going to say, how did she not lay into the lady? She did lay into her.
I thought she was going to,
but in a
really
very restrained way.
Carpet. She was. Yeah. She was and it was a nice episode. All the episodes have been surprisingly very nice and lovely. But I felt like this episode, the wife may have learned from Wendy, but there's not a chance in hell that Wendy took anything, not a single ounce, shred, smidgen, or molecule from the woman she swapped with. She's like, get this trash out of my house right now. My way is still the best way.
Yes. It was pretty interesting to watch. There was definitely a layer of nervousness through this because the reason we expected Wendy to lay into the woman was because of the previews and how they showed Wendy reacting to this and the stain on the carpet and stuff like that. But then when we actually watched the episode, I thought it was pretty interesting with what a loser the other mom kind of came off as and how I think the whole audience was like, fuck her. And she was a very nice lady and probably has some severe depression issues or something's going on there, but there's something going on there. But, this was yikes. The other lady did not come off looking great. And she's been all over Reddit like, oh my God, you guys, they're not listing our episode in TV Guide, so be sure you watch it. I was so excited to do it. And she's posting all these threads and everyone's like, hey girl, that's so exciting. You're on Wife Swap. And I was like, oh my God, I don't think she realized what a trash box she ended up looking like.
Well, I was just like, I really was concerned for her. I was like, she sort of sounds depressed. She stays in bed all day. She just doesn't really leave her room. Everyone has to do everything else. And I'm not saying that in a judgy way. I was like, should we do a wellness check on her? Like something. And she was like, I'm really burnt out and everything. I was like, there's something going on with this lady that's deeper than what this show is expressing. They're like, oh my God, well, I used to live this like type A personality and I moved to Florida. I'm just like, ugh, now I'm just going to relax. I was like, I feel like we should maybe just like have a check-in. Let's, as a group, we can all come together, check in on this lady, make sure everything really is okay. But yeah, I was a little, I felt like it was darker around the edges than the show was trying to acknowledge, I felt.
Yeah, I thought it was a great episode, actually. I think it was one of the best ones. I mean, there were only 4, but yeah, I thought it was good. And, all of them tried to bring in a housewife to support the other housewife, like a guest star appearance. This one didn't. They brought Wendy's mother instead. And I thought that was an extremely wise decision. That shit was hilarious.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing. But anyway, let's start it up. We're in Potomac and we see Wendy and Eddie talking, and Wendy is saying, without a schedule, all things fail. If you don't have a schedule, what are you doing in your life? We have 3 kids. Do you know how hard it is to schedule them and also a fake robbery? You have to make sure you have a timetable.
Yeah, so she introduces her kids, Carter, Cruz, and Cameron, and then she reminds us that in Nigerian culture, education is the main focal point. So they will have multiple degrees and lots of debt that they can hopefully one day learn to insurance fraud to pay off. And
you can't have charges without degrees. Okay,
that's right.
To paraphrase Karen Huger, you gotta have charge. You gotta have degrees to have charges.
So the producer is like, is your mom strict? And he's like, I don't like my mom. Carter's like, I don't like my mom's rules, but we have to obey them. And Wendy's like, yeah, they don't get chips. We don't do sugary drinks. Wait, I hear a noise. Is that one of my kids? What are you eating? It's like, chips. She's like, you see? So you do chips. I mean, you've got chips in the house. So
it's coming from inside the house. So Wendy says, I wake up at 5 a.m. The kids are dressed by 7. They eat breakfast and are ready by 7:15. Dinner's between 5:30 and 6. 7 is bath time. 8:45 is prayer. 9 is bedtime. Eddie's like, yeah, Wendy's rules for me are follow Wendy's rules. I'm pretty much her supporting staff. Is there any surprise that I got into weed?
There's 15 full minutes for prayer? What the hell are you guys praying for? This is how you pray. God, thanks for everything. Love you. Mean it. Bye. Amen. That's it. That's like the only break they get. I hope they don't have to do a 15-minute prayer because that's hideous.
That's really intense.
Yeah. So then Wendy is like, my love of structure comes from having no structure because I was a latchkey kid and my mom worked too much. So I wanted to make sure that when I had kids, I was more present with the clock. And Eddie is like, yeah, there needs to be a balance. She's like, you balance. He's like, okay. He's on one foot. We'll do whatever you say.
Okay.
Whatever you say.
Your balance window's closed. Okay, time for prayer. But it's not even 8:45. It's post balance prayer. Sorry.
And she's like, yeah, there was no question. Eddie's like, yeah, if I were to give you advice, I'd say balance your schedule. And she's like, yeah, no one asked you to question. There was no ask for advice. Yeah, no one asked you advice.
So now we go to Naples, Florida, to the Shapiros. So we meet Alethea, and she's like, I'd like for you to meet Breck. Ferrets are just amazing pets. The only bad thing is they're a little stinky. I'm Alethea, ferret mom, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband, Craig, we are college sweethearts. We have 4 children and, of course, a ferret and many other animals because apparently that's the only people you can cast on this show. People with tons of animals.
Yeah, we want to freak clean people out with dirty poop people. Okay, that's what we're going for. Poor people are dirty. Okay, I hope that America has understood that unless you are rich and on Housewives, you are a dirty motherfucker. That's it.
That's really
and you
very
probably
true.
Poop in a hole in the ground, and you live with disgusting animals, and that's what Bravo's
and
really
you don't
trying
have
to get
enough
across.
And you don't have enough time together at the family at the table. That's the other running thing. If you're poor, that means people are eating at different times. Although I guess that was Emily's family. Well, that still tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, comparatively, yeah.
She was the poor one on that episode. She was the poor one.
So only in Orange County does it reverse.
Because the other people had the giant mansion with the farm, and Emily just had the tiny house where the woman's like, oh, what a nice small little house. We don't eat together as a family. Classic poor person.
Wasn't this lady's name Althea? Alethea doesn't
Maybe
sound
it was.
right. I think
I
it
think it
would have
was
stuck
Althea.
out to me if it was
No.
Alethea, because that's like how I say Alicia, because I'm gay. I have gay tongue. So I'm like Alethea. And that's why I don't like people named Alicia, because it's hard for me to say it.
I think you actually are right. I think maybe her name is spelled like Alethea, but I'm going to have trouble because I just got through an entire Potomac episode earlier this week, really struggling to call Jazzy instead of Jassy. And now we have Althea. What is Brava doing to me? I'm a very phonetic person. I'm a phonetic literalist. I can't deal with this.
So Althea is telling us that she has a lot of animals, but they're stinky, and she's a stay-at-home mom, and her husband is Craig, and they were college sweethearts, and she's got 4 kids, and 2 girls and 2 boys, and she's created a life of her dreams where she is just surrounded by hobbies. All she does all day is everything she wants, and she has embraced this lifestyle of low-demand parently, which basically means empowering your children to be independent. Now, when she said this and she explained it, I loved her. I was like, this is amazing. She's like, why do I have to pack my kids' lunches? They have hands. They can pack their lunches. They know what they want. They should do it. I hate helicopter parents. So far, I'm like, this sounds great. I believe that children should have jobs, which is why I support terrible companies that deliver things to me in 2 seconds. Like, give me a Temu any day. Give me an iPhone. Some 5-year-old made it. You know what I mean?
Like an American Tail, like Fievel, he was actually, I didn't feel bad for him. I felt like he was actually growing as a mouse, as a little mouse. His character was growing. But I think
labor forms personality. Okay.
I know what you're saying. But the thing is this, though, is that when she says low demand parenting, that to me did not strike me as I want my children to be stridently independent, where like to me that's kind of like hands off parenting or whatever. Low demand parenting, I was like, oh, okay, you just don't want to deal with your kids, do you? That's what it is. And she's trying to assign all these lofty ambitions, like they're going to become really independent. I was like, I don't know about that. But at this point, I know what you're saying. The jury's still out. We're going to see if she actually...
Yeah, we didn't know yet what she meant. But at this point, I thought, love it. She's great. But there was some signs. There were some signs about this lady being crazy, which we'll get to in a minute. So Dylan's like, yeah, our mom does her own thing. She's always crocheting or playing with the animals. One of these kids has that stupid hair. It's like a new version of the mushroom hair where they comb it all forward. But this one, he comes forward and he doesn't curl it anymore. Now it's just flat. It's like an awning at a restaurant that comes out.
I feel like it looks like a flying saucer that landed on his head.
Yeah, poor thing. So he's got that. And he's like, yeah, she just wants to crochet. She doesn't give us haircuts or anything like that. It's really sad. We don't wash our hair. Please wash my hair.
Yeah. And she is like, a few years ago, we lived in New York. We lived such an overscheduled life. Everything had to be perfect. They were booked fun play dates 8 days a week in advance. It was just so suffocating. Ugh, they had the worst friends. And then ultimately that led to burnout. And when we moved to Florida, I found another way to parent, which is just to hole up in a room and do crocheting all day and then see if their kids are alive at the end of the day. It's just more stressful for you. It's way more stressful for you, but like you don't have to be scheduled. And I want to share it with another family.
Yeah. And Dylan says, yeah, mom's always crocheting. And one of the kids goes, yeah, I wish my mom cooked dinner more often. And the other kid goes, yeah. And also a mom that's not lazy. Oof. Ouch. I mean, the first second that the cameras come in, your kids are begging for a new mom. That's not good.
Yeah. It's one thing to be like to encourage your kids to be independent, and that when they are like complaining and saying things like, Mom, make me this, you say, no, you have to make it yourself. Because that is parenting still. Because right, you're still saying, I'm teaching you a lesson that you have to be independent. But it's not to just be like you're just not present. And then you start to say, I think you're just trying to make you're creating a narrative for what's going on in your life right now. That's trying to make you sound like you're doing more than you are.
Yeah. So we find Wendy is finding out where she's going to go. They get it on the phone. And so all the family gathers around, and it's Naples, Florida. And she screams. And Eddie's like, that has crocodiles, right? And she's like, oh my God, crocodile? It's the swamp people.
Carter's like, I'm going to pray for you at 8:45, right? Yes, mother. So then,
And also being sent to Florida. I mean, Wendy is a political commentator and she's an extremely liberal commentator. And, you know, I think we all had the same thought. Like when you're going to Florida, it's like, oh shit, what part of Florida is this? How bad is this? What am I in store for? Is this going to be political fighting? Am I allowed to
Naples
say gay?
again? Is Naples on the East Coast or the West Coast of Florida? Somewhere.
Oh no, no
That's where the
idea.
alligators are. So Althea gets a thing that says, "Welcome to Potomac, Maryland." She's like, "Oh, okay, all right, interesting." And so Wendy arrives and she's like, "Honey,
No, I have
I'm
to
home."
say, Althea finds out and she doesn't have any idea. She has not watched this show. You can tell because she was so excited to be on a Bravo show. And then she's like, Potomac, Google the cast, honey. It's like, oh.
By the way, Naples is on the West Coast and it's, I guess, south of Fort Myers. So Wendy's like, "Wait a second, where's the furniture? There's no furniture in here." Because like the foyer, the living room, there's no furniture. There's just like many different plastic basketball hoops that are hanging. And she's like,
It's weird. There's no couches, nothing. It's a big blank room except for basketball hoops and then a TV hanging on the wall, but there's nothing to sit on and watch the TV. It's bizarre. She just gives it to the kids to play basketball in. That's fucking crazy.
It's like a janky Dave and Bust. Well, she's not. I mean, it's like one of those Airbnbs you go into and you're like, what? And she calls it a makeshift Dave and Buster's. Here's what I don't understand. This is, as far as we can tell, like a kind of a Florida. It's not necessarily maybe a McMansion, but it's like a nice size home. Were they not able to convert any other room into like the playroom? Could they turn the garage into the basketball zone? It just seems so strange that they just have no interest in even using that space for any sort of seating or not luxury, just comfort.
Yeah. So Althea loves Wendy's house. And as we see her driving through Wendy's neighborhood and just looking at all these homes, and she's like, oh my God, wow. Because those are big, you know, East Coast mansions, basically. And she's like, wow. So then we see Wendy's. She loves it. She's like, oh, it's a nice brick colonial house. Dorothy's not in Kansas anymore. She's in Maryland. Wow. So she walks in, and this is the first sign that she's crazy because she's wearing a jumpsuit and it has peace signs and yin and yang signs all over it. And we know what that means. Fucking crazy person, just barely, you know, white knuckling it through life, trying to keep it together.
Yeah, she's she's like trying to be super positive, and it's like, lady, no. So then Wendy's walking around and she's like, oh, wow, 4 kids. Okay, all right, let's see. And then she walks around a corner and she's like, oh my God, what's that? And it's like a cat. The cat's just staring at her like, oh God.
She starts screaming at the cat. She's ridiculous. She's like, oh my God. Oh my God, it's a cat. It's a cat. You've never seen a cat before? Like,
I know. I thought it was going to be I thought it would be like a snake or some other pet, but it was just a cat. I mean, Wendy had to deal with a full-on pig last week. Not Wendy, Emily.
Yeah.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So she screams at the top of her lungs when she sees the cat. And she's like, Dr. Doolittle? What is this, Dr. Doolittle? And Althea walks through her house and goes, oh, cute kids. Wow, this house doesn't really look ball friendly. No, ma'am.
That's also the running theme with the Real Housewives houses, that they are sterile and cold.
That's also me in general. Don't throw a ball at me. Don't throw a ball at me. We all know, do not throw it at me. I'll just scream and start yelling and run away. So now it's time for the house rules. And this lady, Althea, because she's wacky, she's handwritten the rules on different colors of paper. So each page is a different color. And Wendy's like, oh, okay. So she doesn't want to use a computer. Okay. Well, I use Canva for her rules. So guess I'm fancy.
Wendy is so disgusted by this handwritten like construction paper rule set. She's like, really? You don't even have any, you don't have like Microsoft Word or Pages, ClarisWorks, anything? Come on. So Wendy's like, dear mom, she's reading the rules. Dear mom, animals are a big part of our family, so please treat them like your fur babies. And she goes, oh, Jesus, no. And in this house, we don't sweat the small stuff. And then like a dog walks up to her and Wendy's like, ah! I'm like, Wendy, it's a little dog. This is, you can't use up all your screams. There's still a chinchilla to meet.
She's ridiculous. And she has dogs. What is she so afraid? It's like this little furry dog. Like, you've got the same sized dogs. He's like, dog. So this was where I was kind of worried that Wendy was just going to be an asshole through this episode and make like every single thing seem disgusting. But by the end, I was completely on her side. I was like, wow, Wendy's nicer than I would have been in this situation.
Yeah, Wendy was great.
I would have called social services, honestly. Not with the dogs, but throughout the episode.
I just, don't tell Gina that. She'll get very upset. So Althea's reading her rules and they say, there's a clear schedule in the house and the schedule must be adhered to. That means you, my dear friend, must be awake no later than 5:30 a.m. And then back to Wendy reading rules. In this house, we don't have a lot of rules and routines, or our routines are hard for us to stick to. So bedtime, chores, and homework. She's like, wait, they don't have a schedule? Oh God. First no computer, then no schedule. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, and then, of course, Wendy's schedule is like, get the kids out of bed by 7:15. House has to be vacuumed and organized by 10. Begin dinner prep by 1. Dinner served no later than 6. Bath time at 7. Prayer time is 8:45. Everyone in bed by 9. Yikes. So then Wendy reads hers, and it's, we moved to Florida from New York to embrace a no-stress lifestyle. Good luck. No schedule, no rules. And Wendy's like, what am I weeding?
Like, this is a nightmare. So then Wendy goes into the laundry room and surprise, there's a guy in there. She's like, oh, you've been hearing me screaming around the house. That's probably what she was thinking. Like, I've just been doing these big screams for the animals. And there's been a guy here listening the entire time. And of course, this guy hears screaming in the house and doesn't come out of his little hobby hole. So
He's used to it.
Yeah.
He's
so
used to
what
it. He's
are you
like,
doing?
I thought my wife was back rubbing lipstick all over her face, turning in circles in the living room, and crying softly.
So he's like, yeah, hi, I do some trading and some financial consulting back here. And she's usually in her room crocheting or playing with the animals. And I think you met some of the cats outside. She's like, how many cats are there? I think there's 5. I don't know. I haven't left this room in about 6 years, so I don't really know what's out there anymore.
Yeah. 5 cats, 2 ferrets, a chinchilla. Then we got some ducks. She's like, love that. Love that. Love that for you guys. And he's like, yeah, we put my office in the laundry room. So, I get the full dual purpose. I can do my full-time job and I do the laundry. But it works for me. It works for me. Does not work for you.
Like, literally doing laundry and day trading at the same time. So then Althea meets the kids and Dylan, that's Wendy's daughter, is like, I wasn't sure what to expect. High heels and makeup and hair and everything. I was kind of taken aback, but I was also informed that I only have a 5-minute slot on my schedule to be taken aback, and then I have to go forward with prayer.
So Althea's asking Eddie, does your wife really get up at 5:30 p.m.? And by the way, the rule said no later than 5:30 p.m.
No later.
So she's like, she gets up at 5:30 a.m. Is that crazy? And he's like, oh yeah. What time do you get up? She goes, oh no, I don't even set my alarm. He's like, so 6? She's like, no, sir.
That's my favorite. I have to say, one of my favorite things is when I talk to people who have families, and like if I say, oh, I had to wake up at 8 this morning, or if I usually wake up around 8ish anyway, but if I say something like I have to wake up at 7:30, they just look at me like, what?
Fuck off. Seriously. I know that's true. I get up at 6:30. Well, I wake up at 6:30, but I do not get up at 6:30. I wake up at 6:30. I do my morning routine for my children, which is give the dog food and then let him go outside. And then I go back to bed until I have to do this.
Yeah, it's just so funny. Like I love, like, parents. It's like, you get to sleep later than 6 a.m. What? How does?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Yeah. So then back at the other house, Wendy is learning that the husband does all the morning duties and takes care of the kids and all that. And she's like, okay, well, what time does mommy duty start? And the kids are like 12. I'm like, 12? And they're like, yeah, she sleeps in. And Wendy's like, she sleeps till noon every day. And they're like, yeah. And then and then now I'm starting to worry Because Althea's at first seemed like fun, but now we're seeing that Althea's version of no pressure parenting means no pressure on her. The husband has to do everything. And then we learn she has a daughter that does everything else, that she's parentified, which is fucking terrible. And so her daughter is raising her children. And then it's getting sad because it's like this selfish woman sleeps till 12 and then crochets all day while her family does all the work. It's not cool. I think when she had that breakdown in New York, she was like, I can't do this anymore. And her husband was like, please don't leave us. We'll live a life where you can just do whatever you want. I'll do everything. Just don't leave.
Yeah. That might be true. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like there's darkness on the edges of this episode with this lady where it's like there's something deeper going on. I firmly believe, because this is not a situation of, like, reiterating what I said earlier of like, no, kids, you can't rely on me. You need to do this independently. And, I'm going to be doing this I'm doing this right now for the household or for my job or for whatever I need to do. And you need to do this. You need to take care of yourself. This sort of feels like she's absent. It's like absent parenting, not so much just low demand parenting.
Yeah, she's just a roommate in a house with someone with kids or something. And it's interesting that we have this theme 2 weeks in a row, because last week Emily was in bed all day and she didn't want to come out and hang out with her kids. Like, she had to actually learn to spend time with her kids. And Emily's complaint about her mother is that her mother was always depressed and would never take care of her. So it's weird that it keeps coming back.
Well, it's also why I'm grateful that the season was only 4 episodes, because already within like 2 or 3 episodes, there were a lot of like recurring themes. It was like animals, dirtiness, attentiveness to family time. And so the novelty is already actually kind of like wearing pretty thin for me. Like, I feel like 4 and I'm like set, I'm done. I really think this is actually a very charming show. And like, but it's done all that I need to do. It's not, every episode is covering decreasingly new ground. Is that even a grammatically correct way to say something? But it is fascinating, the overlap that we do see. It's interesting, or at least what they're presenting, and that we have this overlap 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Wendy is dressed to the nines. She's wearing these gold, really high heels and this really fancy outfit. And they're like, okay, well, you're going to be like your mom today. You're going to be like our mom today. So you need to change. And she's like, oh God, well, I guess I could wear a maxi dress. Very comfortable. But she comes out in like a little jogging outfit or whatever.
Which is cute.
Yeah. And Althea has to dress fancy, which is hilarious because what are you, Paula Poundstone? Is this like a Paula Poundstone karaoke? What are you doing?
Obviously she got heads up that she had to dress this way because she packed some sort of ill-fitting business suit from like 1989. Like, there definitely needed to be a brick wall behind her and a microphone so she could like tell stories about being caught in traffic. But I was like, what business suit is this?
Yeah. So then let's see here. So Susan is like, okay, well, what's the typical dinner you cook for your family? And this is Wendy's mom, Susan. Okay. So Wendy's mom comes over and she just looks at this lady like already. She's like, what is this suit? Who is this person? So she's like, we're going to make okra soup for the family. So they sit down and okra's not easy. Like, okra takes a lot of prep and work, and all the family sits around and does it together. So they're doing that. And Susan's like, okay, so what's the typical dinner you cook for your family? And she's like, yeah, I didn't inherit that trait. So what do you want me to do? She goes, wash the okra. So she just runs water over it. And she goes, am I doing it right? She goes, no. God, what am I going to do with you? She's like, this lady's an idiot, and she does not pretend that this lady is not an idiot.
Susan is so disgusted by this lady's lack of initiative and like world experience. She's like, I raised my daughter to get 4 degrees and it's still not enough. She needs to get 3 more.
This lady can't even put degree on as deodorant. Like, where did you find this loser?
So then Cruz says to Althea, she's like, you don't even know what you're doing. And Susan goes, okay, 1, 2, 3 slice. You have to get it together. I mean, you have to treat it with respect. I mean, do you need help cooking with your kids? Like, what's wrong with you?
She's like, well, my mom comes over and teaches my daughters how to cook and my sons. And Susan goes, and you just stay in bed? And she goes, yep. She goes, what kind of person are you? I was like,
because well, it makes me very happy that she's passing on the skills. Oh my goodness, I can't get you. You are the bystander.
God help me. So then we go, oh no. So then she's like, the best reflection of my parenting style is that I always get glowing reviews about my children. I mean, they do well in school, even without me enforcing homework. And she goes, you're against homework? She goes, yeah. She goes, oh my God. And you're taking credit for your kids coming out right? You know what? They have no choice but to work hard because you're kind of lazy. She's like, she just looks at the camera and she's like, damn, this lady's eating me alive.
Yeah, she does not care. She's like, I don't care if the mandate of the show is to be uplifting and show how we can grow from our differences. She's like, you are failing.
You're a fucking loser. I love Wendy's mom.
Yeah.
She's like, you suck, bro. So then we go over to the other house and Wendy is like, so Craig, you do everything. You walk the dog, you do the laundry. And the kid's like, yeah, he does everything. She goes, you take the kids to the sports? She goes, yep. And one of the kids is like, unlike mom, she just leaves me there. And he goes, but she comes to your games. Yeah, but she doesn't even watch them. And the dad's like, that's not true. And he's like, she's just on her phone the whole time.
Wendy's
This
like, well,
mom
I'm
is
here
getting
to fill her
dragged.
shoes. I don't drag. She goes, so I'm, so whatever she does, I'll do it. So then now it's 9:00 and basically the kids, the Shapiros are playing basketball. The Cephos are going like praying and going to bed. And now it's after midnight and the kids are still playing basketball and they're making so much noise. And Wendy's like losing her mind. So now it's day 2 and Wendy's like, okay, Wendy's rule. Oh, sorry. This is Wendy's rule in the voice. My voice is going to you, Althea. Wake up at 5:30. Wake up the kids by 6:30. So she wakes up at 6:39, which is significantly later, and I feel like she's the only wife we've seen who like blatantly disrespects the rules of anyone else, and that goes for all housewives and wives or whatever. So she's just like, whatever, I'm sleeping until to 6:30, and she basically wakes the kids up at 7:09.
Yeah. So they're late, they're running late. And Eddie's like, okay, we're going to take them to school. You're coming, right? She goes, I mean, I guess. Does she wear pajamas? And he's like, no. So then over at the other house, Wendy is just lying in bed and she's like, I don't know what to do. Just lying there in bed like a dead person. Like, what in the hell am I supposed to do? So one of the kids, Haley, comes in and she says, well, we could do the animal morning routine. I'll hold him back and you can get the poop. You're going to do great. She goes, great.
So
Thanks.
then she's like, she hates it. So then she basically, we then go to, Wendy essentially picks up the poop. And then 3 hours later, it's like 3 hours until the rules change. And Althea has to vacuum the whole house. So she starts vacuuming and she's like, being a real housewife is a lot harder than expected. I mean, Wendy's rules just leave no room for error and no room to relax. I can't wait to change the rules of the house. So Wendy is like, yeah. There was also when Wendy cleaned up the poop, she was like, wait, this is your mom's, the only thing she does all day is she just cleans up this poop. That took like 3 seconds. That's all
Wendy's
she does the entire day.
This lady doesn't have to do anything. And also the daughter, Haley, who is helping her clean the poop or showing her, is the daughter that's parentified. So there's an older kid who comes over and she's got a boyfriend, I think. Did she bring her boyfriend or was it just her?
Later, he comes over.
They're kind of like the parents to the kids. And
Yeah.
she hugs each of the kids and she makes sure they're okay. And when they come home from school, she hugs each of them and is like, welcome home from school. How was school? And Wendy's like, okay. So Haley's the mom, and Haley is a hands-on mom. So that's why these kids are doing okay because they have someone raising them. They have the dad and this daughter mom.
Yeah. And actually the two daughters seem at the Shapiros seem like very bright young women. I mean, the kids are like the two
All the
boys
kids
are
are
young.
sweet.
So
Yeah,
they're all
real
sweet. But like the two like daughters seem like they're really like very, very sharp and they're like ready to kind of like break free of this chaos. So Wendy is like, okay, everyone, welcome to Wendy's world. First order of business. Got to protect your home from robbers. You never know when they may strike. Okay, we're going to cover all of our cameras. I know that sounds counterproductive, but trust me, it's what you do when the robbers come.
Hide this book in with the chinchilla. Rule number 2. So she's like, okay, 7 p.m. is dinner, no devices. We got to come together and we're going to spend time doing what each of you want to do. So she hangs out with Haley and she's crocheting, and she's like, yeah, my mom taught me to crochet. And she goes, yeah, well, baby Skylar was talking about football, and he was talking about how your mom doesn't go to his games. And she goes, well, maybe she's aloof and a little bit in her own world. But, when I was growing up, she was a PTA mom, and me and Dylan were in theater, and she was like making the costumes. She was there at every single meeting. And so we find out that mom, these other kids don't get that mom. And she was very type A, but now she moved to Florida and had a nervous breakdown. That's me just guessing. And she's like, it's like two different people. And she goes, well, I see the way you're embracing the kids, and you're like the mother. Do you feel like you and your mom switched roles, and she's like the child and you're the mom?
It's like, well, I kind of parent the kids how I want my parent, how I want to parent my kids when I'm older, like with more structure, more regimen. And like, I don't know if that makes me sound crazy, like a military person. She's like, no, I don't think that like making breakfast for your brothers and sisters is crazy. Yeah. So Haley's basically like, I'm just glad that my mom isn't stressed out like as she used to be. But like, sometimes I wish she could be more present in my life, kind of like how I had it when my sister and I were growing up, which is also interesting that there's like this divide around like the two daughters and then the two sons. Like, was it, I don't know, like I want to like know more. Did something change when she had like her third child? Was she like planning just to stop after two? I just keep on like creating these stories in my head about what changed for this lady.
Yeah, like I'll give you two more if you don't make me do anything or something. I don't know, but it's
like, I can't do this. I already got two up and running, and now there's a third one. I don't know if I could do this anymore for the rest of my life.
Yeah. So then back at the other house, Althea is teaching the kids to crochet, and they love it. They're having fun, and then they want to paint stuff. And Eddie's like, this is going to be messy. Is this water soluble? And she goes, we'll find out.
And so they put up this big like protective blanket over the carpet, and they're all doing this in the living room. But like, why not? The foyer is right there. And like, why are you doing it here on the carpet? Unless Wendy and Eddie already had a plan to dig up that carpet and they knew they were going to be renovating. So who cares? But it just seemed like such a strange place to do these arts and crafts. Like, you may not have any rules, but don't you have some logic? Why not say, let's do it in the kitchen, on the counter, or like, why there?
Yeah, she doesn't care. Like that he asks, is it water soluble? And she's like, I don't care. Let's go do it on the white carpet. She's an asshole. Like, this lady's just an asshole. She doesn't care about anybody else. And she hides it with a smile, but she's just, at the end of the day, an asshole is an asshole.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
The crew spills the paint, of course, immediately. Bright red paint all over the carpet. And they're like, oh my God, Eddie's like, I'm going to get in so much trouble. He's freaking out. And Cameron's just like, I'm going to show Mama my crochet work. Mm-hmm. So then in the other house, Wendy goes to the beach with Shane. She plays the piano with Dylan. She goes and watches football with Skylar. And she's like, that's my baby. That's my baby. And he does really well.
It was cute. Did I earlier say that Dylan was Wendy's child? I don't know where that came from. I was like, when I said that, I was like, that's strange that she had one child that doesn't have a K. Dylan is not Wendy's child. So Wendy's like covering a lot of ground. She's like out and about doing a million things down in Florida. But the other family, over the SFOs, they're just in the living room painting and doing crochet. So Eddie's like, so are you guys about to do this, play some basketball? Cause they're putting up the basketball hoop in the kitchen, and they're like, yeah. and then Althea's going to order dinner in. She's like, no dishes. It's great. That means more fun time.
Yeah. So now that Wendy's people, no devices at family meal. So then Althea's parents come and join, and, one of the kids is like, I'm bored. And she's like, come talk to me. So she's like, nope, you're not doing anything. It's the thick of dinner. You're going to sit right here and you're going to enjoy it. And the kid's like, my mom would let me go outside and play in the clubhouse. And she's like, I'm not your mother. Sit down.
Yeah. And he's like lying on the table because he's having a tantrum because he's bored. It's like, okay, kids, this is why you need to have some sort of rules for your children, because they become monsters.
Yeah. And so no one knows how to sit at the table. They're like, we haven't done this. And Craig says, we haven't done this since we lived in New York. And she's like, wow, well, I've enjoyed you guys. I've learned so much from you today. And you've exceeded my expectation. You're my own. Like, you're my own now. I went to a football game and played piano. You are my children now. So Wendy gets really into it, which is surprising. It was a nice turn to see Wendy like get so soft and sweet.
And Haley is like, you really listen, and I appreciate you. I appreciate that. Like, you hear me. We see each other. And Grandma's like, that's very nice. So Haley loves Wendy. I think it's because like Haley seems like a little brainiac, and like Wendy sees that and probably like takes her under her wing, which is very cute.
Well, and also they had the conversation where Wendy's like, so you're basically the parent here. And, you know, the kid's like trying to excuse the mom, like, well, she doesn't mean it. And Wendy's like, yeah, you're the mom. So, and it's like finally someone acknowledging what this kid does for the family, which is nice and terribly sad as well.
So then it's over at the Sepho's house. It's, it's normally it would be time for bedtime and praying, but Althea's like, okay, well, no more bedtime. Have fun. Eddie, what do you think? And he's like, I'm tired, but now the kids just get to play. And they're playing with that basketball hoop like crazy, and they're pretty much up till like 1 a.m.
Yeah, and now we get a spontaneous life adventure, because that's another rule. So they go see alpacas. Althea takes them to go see alpacas at an alpaca farm. And Cameron's so funny. She has one and it's kind of following her around. And she's like, why are you following me? Am I your favorite lover?
Yeah. What was the name of that one alpaca? Forgot what it was. There was one alpaca named like Devante. And Eddie's like, Devante? And the lady's like, yeah, his name is Devante.
Oh, so then at the other house, Althea is getting ready to go. The kids are like, when do you leave? Please make it soon. But no, they said that they had fun with her. And Carter's like, yeah, you guys never let us have fun.
Yeah. So Wendy says her goodbyes to Shapiro's, and she comes back home and like, oh my God, hi. And they're like, Eddie's like, Wendy, meet Althea, meet Wendy. They're like, hi, nice to meet you. They hug, it's nice and everything. And right away, Cameron goes, Mom, look at our carpet. When he looks, she's like, I'm like, Althea's lucky that Susan wasn't there to see that stain, because Susan would have let her have it.
Susan would have killed her. So Wendy's like, okay, let's have a seat. Well, I can have a better view of the spot you left on my carpet.
Althea's like trembling. She's like, oh my God, I'm nervous. She's like laughing like nervously. And when he goes, well, I'd really love to know your honest opinion. Just kidding. I'm not really going to listen. She goes, well, do you really wake up at 5:30 a.m.? No, I wake up at 5 a.m. I'm up at no later than 5:30 a.m. You didn't really read that very carefully. Does printer type look scary to you? Is that why you couldn't really follow my directions?
And she's like, wow, I wish I was a morning person. That's the only thing she takes out of it, is that she had to get up early. This woman is a mess. And Wendy's like, well, I wasn't a morning person. I made myself a morning person because of my kids. And she goes, well, I mean, I just did that for so many years. Yeah, and you still have kids.
Yeah. Wendy's like, okay, I got that you do your own thing and you take up space in the house and everyone revolves around you. And then it really struck me, because that daughter of yours, Haley, who is so amazing, she gives to your other children the type of mothering that she wishes that she had. And she said, you see me. And I feel that means that she feels that she has been unseen. So from one mother to another, from a very type A organized and successful mom to someone who is a disaster sitting here in front of the red stain she put on my carpet, try to meet your kids where they are. Okay.
And your kid and your husband does everything. And I know, he's doing, he does what he does in the house for you. And, I want to impart on you, maybe one day or two during the week, maybe you could help him, because I foresee happening, like, you guys are going to exchange burnout. And she's like, oh yeah, well, he's also kind of a martyr. So let's not forget that about old Craigie boy. Wendy just looks at her like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you are... First of all, Wendy very kindly read this woman for filth. I mean, she literally called out every single issue very well, but she wasn't totally mean about it. She was extremely blunt, but she wasn't mean. And then this lady's like, oh yeah, my husband's a martyr. You're calling your husband a martyr? He's raising your kids. He's paying for everything. He's doing all the laundry. You got a lot of fucking nerve, lady.
Yeah. That was shocking when she did that. She threw him under the bus when Yeah, well, give it to me, okay? Because I give it right to you. She's like, okay, I know you did. She's like, yeah, well, welcome to Housewives 101. She's okay, well, I think she's so nervous to tell Wendy what's wrong with like her life. She's like, I think my biggest takeaway is that the kids feel like they're too scheduled and there's not enough fun. And I want you to build in some more flexible free time so that way they can find their passion, their hobbies, so they can find joy. And maybe you can find joy. I don't know. Please don't hate me. Please don't hate me.
And Wendy's like, flexibility, fun, and free time. I love that for other people. We'll see. So Althea's like, are you going to keep the basketball hoop? No, you're lucky she's not like shoving it over your head and strangling you with it. Frankly.
She's like, that's the first thing that I'm taking down when you leave. She's, but there's nothing breakable. She's, yeah, you can take that with you. She's like, why? What's the worst case scenario? I don't know. Maybe coming home to a red carpet, Althea. I don't know. But this time it's blood.
So Althea says that Wendy reminded her to empower her kids and they still need a mom and they want their mommy. So she's got work to do, guys, and she'll be a better team player with her martyr ass husband and maybe even do some more housework. And Wendy learned to give her kids more latitude. Neither one of them are going to do these things. And we know, I think this is the first episode that it's like, yeah, no one's listening here. I don't think either of these are going to listen.
No.
So we see Althea came home and made her family a priority. She even visited Haley at her internship in Washington. She surprised the family by cooking scrambled eggs one time. And she only cooked them one time. If that's the big deal they're going to make of this.
On paper plates,
Yikes.
Scrambled eggs, one of the easiest things you could ever make. Literally, so easy.
Wendy replaced her carpet and took the kids to the beach or something stupid. But
And she let the basketball hoop stay up for like 3 extra days. Got 3 bonus days before it was thrown in the trash. Yeah, they did not learn.
Yeah, I think Althea is probably not going to stay with this family. I think she's going to be out. Something's going to happen. But I got bad vibes from that one. And I feel bad for her because I do see her posting on Reddit and stuff, and she does seem really sweet. And I haven't read any comments or anything about this episode because, like, who's going to go read a wife swap thread? You know what I mean? Even though I'm not that sad. But I feel like she's probably going to get eaten alive in there.
Yeah, I think it's, I think Wife Swap was a very pleasant surprise. I thought it was going to be awful. I thought it was going to be awful and super produced and scripted and planned. And it definitely is produced and everything. But it was a much better show than I thought. I really enjoyed watching it. But I did feel like 4 episodes is perfect. If this was like an 8-episode season, I would be like, okay, let's wrap this up. So nice 4-episode kind of like afternoon snack of a show. And now we just move on to, we've got more shows coming up on the schedule. We got Southern Charms coming back. Beverly Hills is coming back. Vanderpump Rules is back in December also. So like the roster is filling up all over again.
Yeah. So here we go, everybody. Buckle up. So until next time, we will see you over on Patreon with bonus episodes and Crappens on Demand with videos. Monday is Crappy Hour at 5:30 Pacific time. And this weekend in Vegas, Saturday night, 10 p.m. at Beer Park in the Paris Hotel is our party. So come join us and have some fun with us in Vegas. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
It's always a party on Allison Block.
Our way is the Amber way.
It's the Foster and the Furious. It's Amanda Foster.
It's always automatic with Ashley Auto. Put your hands together for Carly Clapp.
Get on the right foot with Chrissy Offit. We never miss her call. It's Diane Call. Big yay, it's Emily Gauthier.
Aaron McNicholas. She don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
You'll never hide from Heidi Eleanor Jones.
I go, you go, we all go for Hugo.
Jamie. She has no last namey.
She's our kind of mess. It's Jennifer Messer. Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
Get a bee in your bonnet with Lacey B. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will Lauren Silsby. She gets an A from us, it's Lindsay D.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Fresh as a daisy, it's Maisie McHenry. We love her on the rocks, it's Melissa Cox.
Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
This is Livin' with Michelle Vivian.
I love ya, Olivia Williamson.
She sure is swell. It's Raquel.
Yes, we canna. It's Savannah.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman.
Let's share with Sharon Eldridge.
Darn Skippy, it's Tippy.
And our super premium sponsors.
Make way for AJ Lopez.
She's VVIP. It's Amanda V. Can't lose when you're with Amy Baldwin.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Put us on a stretcher, it's Charlotte Fletcher.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Who, what, why, where, and Gwen Pentland.
Let's go into the woods with Guy Tubbs.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Hail the Cork Master, the Master of the Cork, Jennifer Corcoran.
We got our wish. It's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
She's a total knockout. It's Katie Manock.
We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley. In the study with a candlestick, it's Leslie Peacock.
Gee, it's Lisa H.
We're ride or die for Lisa Ryder Barron.
She's a whiz, it's Liz Sarthy.
Always killing it, it's Lola Alkalani.
The incredible edible Matthews sisters. She eases our woes. It's Melissa St. Rose. There's a chance of meatballs. It's Rebecca Cloud.
Maximum love for Sandy Maximoska.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
We cannot tell a lie, it's Sarah Tellefson.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony.
Please don't stop. It's Soli and Pop.
Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
We're obsessed all with Tessa V.
You'll always get the full story with Tori Parsons.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.